What's up guys, my name is Brandon and today we're going to be doing a speed test between the two most popular quote-unquote budget phones on the market right now. So we have the Samsung Galaxy S10e and the iPhone XR. So we're going to be doing boot up tests, app launching tests, web browsing tests, and more. So before we get into any of the testing, let's lay out the specs so you can see what we're working with on each device. So let's start off over here on the left with the S10e, and we have the Snapdragon 855 processor in here with 6 gigabytes of RAM. Then over here on the right, we have the Apple iPhone XR, which has Apple's A12 Bionic chip with 3 gigabytes of RAM. So half the RAM here on the iPhone XR. So we're going to see if that makes a big difference in the RAM management test in this video. But we do have, again, 6 gigabytes versus 3 gigabytes of RAM. All right, so of course, first things first, let's start off with a boot up test. All right, so they are both now shut down. So we're going to press the power button at the exact same time on both of them in 3, 2, 1. Pressing and holding on both. And we get an animation there, or at least some content on the Samsung Galaxy S10e first. We do have the Apple logo here, so let's see which one gets to the lock screen first. So it's looking like the Samsung is going to win here. We're having multiple animations, and we still have the Apple logo there. No dimming yet on the iPhone XR, but no, the XR actually does win. So just by a few seconds, the iPhone XR did boot up faster than the S10e. All right, so now we're going to do a test to see which one can actually get to the camera fastest from the lock screen. So I always like to test this because I know a lot of people like to actually take their phone out of their pocket and just not unlock it, but get to the camera. So I want to see which one can actually get to that camera first, which one can get there faster. So we're just going to swipe over here on the iPhone XR, and on the S10e, we're going to just drag this up. So 3, 2, 1. And it looked like the S10e won there. Let's switch it around to front facing so we can get a better idea. 3, 2, 1. And that time it looked like the iPhone XR, we still had a little bit of loading there on the S10e. And then just one last time for good time's sake. And you can see there's a little bit of loading there on the S10e. So the iPhone XR does get to the camera faster from the lock screen. All right, so now let's move on to applications. We're gonna open up some games, some social media apps and things like that, just to see which one gets into the application faster. And you can see we don't have any applications open on either device. So we're just gonna start off here with a game. We're gonna start with Galaxy on Fire 3 and 3, 2, 1. Press at the same time, but we did launch first there on the iPhone. So let's see which one gets into the application first. It looks very, very close, neck and neck right now. It looks like the iPhone XR may have like a millisecond advantage. And no, it looked like the Samsung Galaxy S10e did win that one just by, less than a second, but it did get there faster than the iPhone. Now let's go into Asphalt 9. Press at the same time. Again, the animations do make it look like I pressed the iPhone first, but I definitely do press them at the exact same time. So let's see which one gets into this racing application first, and the iPhone XR won by about a second there. So now let's test out a more CPU intensive game like PUBG. So let's open up PUBG here in 3, 2, 1. Same time once again, and looks like the iPhone XR is in the lead by just about a second. Yes, so it looks like at least a couple seconds the iPhone is in the lead here. So these are both updated and everything. I did all this before recording this video, so there's nothing different between the two. And yes, the iPhone is going to win this one for sure. So iPhone XR is there. Samsung Galaxy S10e still behind, about at least a 5-second difference here. Still behind, there we go. So big difference there. The iPhone XR definitely beat the S10e when it comes to PUBG. So now let's test out some social media applications. So let's start off with Twitter. You can see there the S10e, let's see if we load up first, and yes, looks like the S10e definitely beat the iPhone XR here when it comes to Twitter. So now we're gonna see which one can pull up the share sheet first. So we're on a tweet right here, and we're gonna press the share button on both and see which one brings up the window first. So 3, 2, 1, and it looked about the same, so we're gonna click share tweet via. And the iPhone XR brought up the share sheet before the S10e. This is something I always like to test because this is more like real life stuff that you would do and actually notice a difference. Now let's go ahead and open up Instagram in 3, 2, 1. And it looked like the iPhone XR had the advantage there, but it was only by a few milliseconds. So let's go back out of here. Now let's go into YouTube, 3, 2, 1. And the S10e loaded up YouTube before the iPhone XR. Let's go into Amazon. And the S10e beat out the iPhone XR once again, 2 in a row now. So we beat it out in YouTube and now also in the Amazon application. Now let's open up the App Store on each device. So we have the Play Store on the S10e and the App Store on the iPhone XR. Let's see which one opens up first. and that looked about the same. Now let's open up the camera to see which one gets to the front facing camera first in 3, 2, 1. And the XR definitely beat out the S10e once again. So when it comes to the camera, the iPhone definitely outperforms and gets there faster than the S10e does. We saw it on the lock screen and now with the actual camera application. All right, so now let's run the test that you've probably all been waiting for, the RAM management test. Let's see if that 6 GB versus 3 GB makes a big difference in real world usage. So we're gonna open up all the applications we just opened up once again and see if we have any relaunches on either phone. So in theory, we should have to relaunch games here on the iPhone XR since we only have 3 GB of RAM, but we should not have any relaunches at all with 6 GB of RAM here on the S10e. So we started off with Galaxy on Fire 3, so let's just open that up once again and see if we are where we left off. So just press it again, and we actually have a relaunch on the S10e, but the iPhone XR stays exactly where it was, 10 minutes ago. So wow, super impressive for having half the amount of RAM to not relaunch, and the S10e actually relaunches. Wow, I am very surprised by that already. Let's move on to Asphalt 9. And once again, we're right where we left off. Well, nope. So we had like a semi-relaunch on both. So we did actually get to the screen faster on the iPhone XR though. So no relaunch for either there. This is the real test here. So PUBG. And we're right where we left off on both of these. We don't really have to press that at the same time. We're just looking for relaunches at this point. Now let's do CSR Racing. And we have a relaunch on both devices. So pretty interesting there. Let's check out our social media application. So let's do Twitter. No relaunch on either one. We're still on the same tweet there. Let's go to Instagram and no relaunch for either one there. We're just loading up new content. YouTube, same thing. We open up right where we left off. So when it comes to RAM management, it looks like iOS still reigns superior over Android and the Samsung Galaxy S10e, despite having half the amount of RAM. So super impressive results here from the iPhone XR. So now let's run a quick browser test inside of Safari. We're gonna be using Chrome here on the S10e. All right, so we're gonna load up Product Hunt first. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Pressed at the same time here on the same Wi-Fi network, and the iPhone XR definitely loaded up before the S10e here. Although it does look like we get a little bit more information here on the S10e, so we have a product recommendations tab here, whereas we do not have that on the iPhone XR. All right, so now let's go to TechCrunch in 3, 2, 1. And definitely first on the S10e, actually, I don't know. Yes, the S10e. So we loaded up the ads first and everything. So at least we got information first. We got something on the screen first on the S10e, but it wasn't fully loading up, but it did still eventually pull through and win after loading up the ad before the XR. Now let's try out ESPN in 3, 2, 1. And information first on the XR it looked like. So we still have the ad to load right there, and that looked very close. I can't really tell. Maybe the S10e? I don't know, let me know in the comments below which one won that test right there. And while we're in Safari, I'm just gonna run a quick Wi-Fi speed test. So we're gonna start on the S10e here first. I do always like testing this just because you do get different results based on the internals when it comes to Wi-Fi. So we're connected to the same Wi-Fi network, but we're gonna do it at separate times so we don't take speed away from the other. So we got a 136.7 download here on the S10e, which is pretty high. So we're gonna get about a 12 upload. So now let's test it out here on the XR. And wow, we actually did beat it on the iPhone XR, at least when it comes to the download. It looks like the upload may be higher as well. So I guess my internet's actually doing really good today, but we do have a 149 download and we do have a slightly lower upload on the iPhone XR. So 11.6 versus 11.4. All right, and so now we're gonna run an Antutu benchmark test on both devices. We're gonna start it at the same time and see which one finishes first. And we're also gonna check and see which one has the higher score. So let's press test in 3, 2, 1. And we'll be back once we finish up. So we did just finish up on the iPhone XR a good bit before the S10e, so I am surprised that we finished so much quicker here on the iPhone XR. You're gonna see it still running in the background while we look through the results here. So you can see the results and the scores here for the benchmarks in CPU, GPU, UX, and also in memory. And we're gonna compare those once we finally finish here on the S10e. And there we go, we did just finish up here on the Samsung Galaxy S10e, and it looks like we do have a higher overall score here. And if we compare the CPU, you can see we have a higher score on the iPhone XR by about 2,000, but the GPU is much higher here on the S10e. You can see the comparison there, 126 versus 156. And then the UX, we do also have a higher score, 73 versus 61 on the iPhone XR. And then when it comes to memory, we also have a higher score here on the S10e as expected with double the RAM. We have an 11,769 versus 10,940. So some very interesting results there. And if you just looked at these benchmarks and didn't do any real world testing like I did earlier in this video, you would just chalk it up and say that the S10e is a faster phone than the 10R, but as you guys saw in this video, that is definitely not the case. Now, are they close in speed? Yes, definitely, and it's not really going to be a huge difference where it's like, oh, I want to buy this phone because it's just a couple seconds faster, but you can see, the difference you're getting here with the 10R. We definitely have better RAM management on iOS and the 10R, and just overall speed with most applications and most things, it seems like it loads up faster on the iPhone 10R, which is actually surprising to me. I thought the S10e was going to win this speed test. So let me know what you guys think down below, which one you think won overall in this speed test. I'm really interested to see what you think. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button no matter if you're an iPhone or a Samsung fan. This was still a very fun speed test to do. Again, let me know which one you think won down in the comment section below, and also subscribe because I will be running a speed test between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus and the iPhone XS Max. That's coming up next on the channel, so stay tuned for that video as well. But yeah guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you soon.